What's up, gang, man? We're back here again doing more content for you guys. So today we got issues with the Camaro. It has a battery issue. I already went ahead and did this off camera. I went ahead and tried to swap out the batteries. That obviously wasn't it. That was just kind of like a quick fix for me. So I gotta put the whole battery back in, take the whole battery back, but we're ended up having to do the alternator next. So the reason I started this video is to show you guys how I get the alternator out of the car. Maybe this will benefit some of you guys out there that are 5th gen Camaro owners. But let's get started on getting the alternator pulled out of here, and I'll show you what I started with. So first things first, we gotta get the belt loosened up so we can get the belt off the alternator down there. Oh, sorry, can't really see it, but it's right there. That pulley right there is the alternator. Gotta loosen the tensioner pulley. It goes to the right. If you're looking at the engine, you just gotta tighten it, grab like a breaker bar like this. Pull the wrench down. Got a breaker bar, put it on here, you just turn it and the belt comes right off. Try not to take it all the way off, otherwise you have to remember the orientation in which the belt goes. If you want to do that, by all means go ahead. Then we gotta pull off of these bolts down here. So there's one that's like right there, and there's another one that's right down there. There's also a connector that's down here. So take those bolts off. It's looking like it's only 2 bolts that are holding it on, so hopefully it's only 2. Otherwise I got to figure out where all the rest of the bolts are, but let's start there and just go from there. Alrighty, see you guys in a second. All right, y'all, next thing I'm going to do is you can get your arms in there to get those 2 bolts off from the side right here, but to make it easier on myself, I'm just going to pull this intake tube off from my cold air intake, and then that way it'll be easier to get to those bolts down there. I'll show you what that looks like once I get the tube taken off. Okay, y'all, I got the intake tube taken off. Looks just like that. Taking it off. Now I can move the coolant hose out of the way, and I can get directly down in there, and you can get those 2 bolts off. This might be a 3rd nut right here for it. I don't know if you guys can see that right here. Now I got the intake tube out of the way, I can see a little better. We'll also see if that comes off if it needs it, but I'll tell you all the bolts I take off once I get everything pulled out of here. Alrighty, so I ended up having to take out the box for the cold air intake as well, so that way I could have full access to the alternator itself. To get the alternator out is that bolt there, and that bolt there is 2 bolts, so that one and that one. There is a 13. Those ones are 15 mil. The one on the back for the actual input to go to the battery, the 12-volt wire, the big thick wire, that's going to be 13. These clips, when they're in the engine bays, get so hard sometimes to remove. Mine, thank God, wasn't that hard to remove. You just press on the back of the clip like this, and you just got to be careful to press on the back, and then it's got the little suction on it, so you got to kind of wiggle and pull just a little bit, and you should be able to get it out. This alternator is really, really hard to get out because it has like a pressure. It's like really pressurized. My bad, y'all. So my phone had died. But like I was saying, is that the alternator is kind of like pressured in by these little like holding pins or like holders for like the bolts. It helps keep pressure on it so that way it doesn't move because it's tightened to the engine belt. It is hard to get off. You're gonna have to get like a pry bar if you're not strong enough to wiggle it out, or be lucky enough just to slide it out, or you're gonna have to just get creative like I did and have to just find a way to get it out. What I will say though is if you are going to use a pry bar in any way, shape, or form, there is a clip right down here, and I kind of broke that clip, but it's okay. Watch out for that clip when you pry on it. That way you don't break that clip or that sensor or whatever, not sensor but plug that's down here. Other than that, I have to wait for my alternator to get ready. But I flipped the camera. My bad. I have to wait for my alternator to get ready to pick up. Once it's ready to pick up, then we can slap a new one in, and that should solve my issue. And then go from there. Yeah, I was getting a bad charging system service light, so I ended up having to figure out what it was, and I just kind of assumed that's the alternator. So we're gonna go there, and if it's not, well, I'll let you know. All right, y'all. Picked up the new alternator, so that's all good. We got that. It's locked in, brand new, clean, like straight. Shorty be good. Now we just gotta get that mug put in there. I don't know, I'm trying to see if I can like grease in between here to help lubricate sliding it back in, because it was really hard getting it out. So I hope it's not extremely hard getting it back in. So we're gonna try to grease that up a little bit, get that try to slide back on there, and once I get it on there, I'll show you how I get it back in and put everything back together. Alrighty, alternator is back on. Took a little bit of persuasion. I'll show you how persuasion in just a minute, but reminder that it is only that bolt there, and there's this bolt right here, that guy. It's only those 2 bolts, and it comes off. That's what loosens the alternator. Don't forget to do your 13 mil power wire back there, as well as your sensor for the alternator right there. It's that guy. But persuasion, just a little touch. You know what I'm saying? Nothing too crazy. This may not work for everybody. It may not work for everybody, so don't be in here listening to Chris grinding shit away, and I don't want to hear nothing about, oh, you told me to grind it and now it doesn't fit. No, I don't want to hear that. Just because I do something, don't mean y'all do it, but it worked for me. It's time to get the cold air intake put back together, the battery plugged back in or put back together, and then let's see if she holds the charge, and then we'll go from there. Car is fixed. We are all good to go again. She's running healthy, running at a steady 13 volts or 12.8 volts. Hey, so it's not hard to do on these cars. These cars are pretty easy to do, even like on my daily right here. It's easy to do. My daily is currently dead. It needs to get worked on, but we'll work on that later. But doing alternator is easy. Pop it in, pop it out. If you're ever having that issue, you ever get that service light that comes on for the battery charging system, try the battery like I did. If it doesn't fix your issue, go straight to the alternator, get that popped out. It should take you, if you have a fresh alternator there ready to go, take you more, maybe like 30-40 minutes to do it. Other than that, hope you have a great rest of your day, guys. Thanks for tuning in, and peace out.